amazing experiences for my family, especially for those in my family who do not have, and for those around me. So I think that's really, if I'm answering the question properly, that's really the dream I have today. Just to be able to say, kind of that Damon Darling, he goes to Walmart and gives people a lot of money and stuff. Doesn't even have to be public, but just to have more of the capacity to make the world a better place. Jesus says, the poor you'll always have with you, and poor is contextual. Poor could be Portugal, poor could be health, poor could be Ramon, but it's contextual. But still, I would love to have that wealth, that financial wealth, not just a smile, to be able to bless others in some meaningful way. I think that's my dream today.
Woo, I'm loving that. And so Ramon, like many, so the whole theme about around this was to have like a capsule type project for my students and some of the young adults that still stay with me. And I'm glad that you brought up you were in your early 20s because I think sometimes, you know, they may feel like they're too young to start, that spark or that dream of getting to a certain point. And so you said you were around 23, correct?
I thought my early 20s was too old.
No.
But yeah, too young. I'm like, whoa, I thought my time was over. But
Oh
no,
God,
yes,
that's
that
so
was about
funny.
21. Well, when I first started, maybe 21, I want to maybe even 20, Shawnte, or less, but I want to say something like that. It was about 20, maybe 21.
Ooh, okay. So see, around those college years. See, so you
Yeah.
could start having those types of dreams. And I love that. All right. So I want to move to a dream that outlives you. So you've built businesses. You've also told us that you've sold some businesses. You've written books. You've written books, and I've had quite a few of them stolen from my desk and my bookshelf. So, the students here in Miami tend to really gravitate towards the way that you present entrepreneurship. So, at this stage, what would you say you're building that you hope outlives you, Ramon Ray? Like, what do you hope outlives Ramon Ray?
On Sundays, TM Hyman Room, Sundays Leadership on Demand that TM Hyman does on Sunday mornings. Hey, Patty from New York. And we talked about names, and many of us talked about our fathers, and our mothers are important too, but many of us happened that in that room to talk about our fathers. Um, and just the names, whether they had for good or for bad. So when I reflect on that, Shantae, in some ways, I want to say it's not purposeful, not intentional, like, hey, I want the Ramon Ray name to last long. But in some ways, I would hope it does. So I guess what I hope lasts long is that imagine my daughter, her son Ezra, Ezra's children, and Ezra's children being able to still remember me and speak about me. In order for that to happen, it's got to be more than Ramon was a good man. A lot of us are around good people, but to have it your name, like, man, that's my great grandfather. I think, and again, we all have a legacy in some way. It could even be small, and you can do nothing famous. But for me, I want it to be so impactful. Like even the great grandchildren are saying, wow, my great grandfather did that, kind of like a Rockefeller, whatever. It doesn't have to be worldwide, but at least in my family, that Ramon Ray, people know this dude was doing something. So is that helpful? So that, if I'm answering the question right, that's kind of how I may see that.
Oh, absolutely. I love that. And I'm right there along with you. I'm thinking of my granddaughter, my little Ami. I'm thinking of her grandchildren. I want them to know me. So I
Mine got it twisted. Sorry.
So, oh man, that is too funny. I love your humor. I love your humor. So, all right, so that takes me into my next question. So I think sometimes dreams get a bad name, a bad rap, because I think people think like when you hear the word dream, that means no action. That means people who are not gonna, take action. But my favorite book tells me, listen, write the vision, make it plain, and you're supposed to so that people can run with it. Like the purpose of the dream is so that it can be, you know, carried out. And so dream and then first move. So there's somebody watching us right now with a business idea. It's sitting in their head, Ramon. I can see them. I can see them. You might need to go call Josh and tell him like, hey, we got somebody with an idea in their head, but no big audience. They ain't got no big blockbuster budget. Oh wait, Blockbuster is out of business now, right? All right. You know what I mean?
Take that and use it. Like if Clorox goes out of business, done by Procter and Gamble, we can still say, "Did you Clorox it?" Even if they went out of business, so it's okay.
Okay. All right. So no big blockbuster type budget. And maybe they don't have too much confidence. So what's the first move you tell that dreamer to make in the next 24 hours? There's someone that hasn't taken action, but they got a dream for a business.
And let me context. Hey, Marilyn. Yesterday, I was talking to a friend of mine. He said he wanted to be in a business because he wanted to go to business because he wanted to invest his money. And I said, dude, if you wanted just your money to grow, there's a lot of different ways you can grow your money. Park it into mutual funds and stocks, and go to Robinhood or Betterment and park it in there and get some high interest rates and all the fancy things that G.A. Pimpleton talks about. I said, you can do that. But I said, why business? So he said, well, I just don't want my money to be wasted. And I kept pushing him, health, kept pushing him. But you know what he really said? I just kind of want to build some. So I said, that's what I wanted to hear. Don't just tell me you want to be in business because you want your money to grow, because you may lose money trying to build a business. Trust me on that. So my point is, somebody's saying they want to build a business. I think be very clear on why they're doing it and what they're trying to do. This is really important because I hear that a lot. My wife makes amazing chocolate chip cookies, and turtles, for that matter, chocolate, turtles. And my mother would tell, "Oh, Ronnie, you should go in business." I said, "Stop, Mom. Ronnie's not a business person or an entrepreneur, nor does she have a desire to do it. Meaning, she doesn't have a desire to get a loan and get a building and hire staff and get all the supplies and get the paperwork needed to open up a store and to grind that up for 5 years and open the store early and open the store late, or get a Crumbles franchise. That's business. She don't want to do all that. It's not just cute. Oh, I made 5 cookies and I'm selling them. That ain't business. So it's important to understand what you're trying to do. The dream. Oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. People say that like a saying, I want to get an ice cream cone. So is it you just have the desire to sell something? Do you really have the desire to build a sustainable business, to pay yourself, to hire people? And so my point is, those who say, I want to be in business, understand what you're getting into. So to answer your question, Health, if I had to say, Ramon, you ain't got time, just answer the darn question. You're talking to somebody, they want to be an entrepreneur and be in business. I would say probably go, if you're, depending on any tour context, but I would say go work for somebody who has their own business. That's the best thing to do. Don't work at Target. Don't work at Walmart. Don't work at McDonald's. Go work for somebody. Go work for Susie Ann's PR agency where you can see Susie Ann and hear her keys jingle. Go work for Bob the baker where you can see the dust on his fingers and where you see the stack of bills on his desk and you see him how he has to make a profit to pay those bills, pay himself, and pay his employees. Go work for somebody who's in business so you can understand the art of business and what it's like. Do that first if you've never done it before, so you understand what business is like. Because if all you think of business is Shark Tank, when I wake up in the morning, there's music, dun dun, dun dun, dun dun, welcome to Shark. There's nobody applauding you. Nobody. You sent the invoice to the customer and they decided not to pay it. You got the loan thinking you were going to go all big and realize nobody's buying for you for 6 months. You went to Thanksgiving and people say, hey, how's business going? I noticed you don't have no customers. Silence. So you don't need to ask for all that health. But that's what I would say. Go work for somebody else so you know what it's like to have a business and do the art of business. And I'll say this as well, health as well. Oftentimes people do get confused between having a nonprofit, between having a hobby, between having a passion, between having a business. Those are different things, and those are all honorable, but do understand that. Like my sister, for example, she said, Ramon, she has a marketing agency, and she really loves helping people. And I'm like, Joanna, that's beautiful. Just go help people. If you don't need the money, just go help people. Don't worry about the money. But if you need the money to feed your family, you got rent to pay, you got diapers to pay, and you have to make the business work. Now that's another ball game. So be clear what you're trying to do.
1000%. And thank you. Thank you for officially going on record and saying I'm right. You see, so that's like a little inside joke for my students because I am a big believer in that early exposure, you know? So I love that. That's exactly what I did, Ramon, to see if being an entrepreneur within my industry was going to be a real feasible thing for me. So I love, love, love that because that first experience was really truly the eye opener for me and the determining factor as to what route and how I wanted to go. And that's how I knew I did not want to be an employee of a team or that I just like, nope, I don't want to marry none of the pro teams. I just want to be a contractor. You get what I'm saying? And it's okay.
Contractor you are in business, of course, you know all that. But meaning those are even clear within business, right? Saying, you know what, I can handle. I got my full time job. Let's say I got my nonprofit, right? You have books in the hood, and saying, as you said, I want to be a contractor. These two or three teams have me on call, and I'm good. Shantae's not. I'm trying to build the physical fitness Shawnte Health Center. Nope, that's not what I'm trying to do. I want to be a contractor. Pay me my per diem, and I'm out. That's beautiful. Just be clear what you're trying to do. Don't
Facts.
say, you know, what's the company? Famous, you know, the physical therapy companies all over. Shantae's saying, "Oh yeah, me and them. I'm just like, you know, fitness IQ, hundreds of places, and Shantae." No, two different things. Sorry, don't mix it.
1000%. I love that clarity. I love that clarity. You actually sound like my economics teacher. You know, I went to the greatest high school called Palmetto Senior High School. You know, we kind of got one of those famous entrepreneurs, got a lot of entrepreneurs out of there. One being Jeff Bezos. I'm just saying, but he had a similar, you know, you got to pop my collar a little bit, pop the collar. But I love that you talked about having that clarity, you know, as to what type of business, because all businesses aren't equal. All business ownership looks differently, but actually getting that early exposure, I'm telling you, it really truly helped me determine early on what path I wanted to go down and what side I wanted to be on as far as like the options within business. So thank you for that clarity. All right. So I would love to talk about because somebody may have gotten a little scared with what. So I would love to ask you what still scares, you know, the serial type of entrepreneur. I really want to get into that. And oh, we're running out of time. All right. So let me try to get down the road really, really quick. So I got only one more question. No, no, no. I'm fine. If you're good on time, if we can, hey, I was trying to crash for 15 minutes. I like to be invited back. So
Oh yeah, you can take the whole time. Yeah, sure, sure. I was prepared for you to take the whole 5:30, 5 o'clock
oh,
hour. Yeah,
awesome.
5:30. Yeah.
Yay, because I did want the audience to be able to participate after these next two questions. I,
So,
they ain't nobody, they ain't no
Go past. They ain't got no question. They probably still sleep. Chris is in under the covers. Marilyn's like her little bird just chirping away. Patty's like in her car with praise music on and with the hatch down. Trust me, they got no question.
I love it. Oh gosh. So I would love to know. You've been in some pretty big rooms. Yeah. And you've done some pretty big things, at least in my eyes. And what business dream is still big enough to make you say, whoa, I don't know exactly how I'm going to pull that off. But I still want to get after it. Do you have such a dream?
By God's grace, I'm living it right now. It's just the revenue and the consistency and the impact has to match it. So thank you. I appreciate that I can be an example to you, Shantae. It's an honor. I hold that in honor. And for me, though, when I'm looking at my own metrics, you know, meaning somebody's looking at somebody else doing 50 push-ups, the person doing 50 push-ups, like, nah, I got 500 I need to do. But for me, it's to have, I enjoy doing the Rundown with Ramon show. And whether that's a 1 hour show as it is or a 3 hour show, that's irrelevant. That may shift and change. But to do a daily show, reaching thousands of people live per day could be, or millions on demand. That's one. Tied to that automatically is going to be a nice core brand, core bucket of sponsors who will sponsor said show. Speaking 2 or 3 times a month for about 25,000, 30,000 each. And then the rest is just seeing what happens. So, you know, for me, I'm living that dream now. It's just the dream has to be fully birthed, if that's helpful. So that's really for me, whether you want to call it the Howard Stern of or the, who's the comedian, not Kevin Hart of or Tyler Perry of. I use those words kind of interchangeably, but I love kind of what I'm doing now. It just has to fruition to what it's doing. So that's Ramon Ray's dream, as it were, in business, as far as making revenue. That's what it would be.
Woo! Howard Stern. You know, I just heard that old school song. I don't know who hint hint Pastor Jeff who sings it. Money is it the Ohio Players that Money song? Money. That one there. Money, 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 yeah, money. Okay, see there you go. I knew Mary Lynn would have my back.
Asked Pastor Jeff, and then when Mary Lynn chimed in, you kind of chuckled and laughed. Why did you not? I'm here, you're interviewing me. Why did you not say, hey, Ramon, that song? Why did you not like ask me the song?
Okay, so I am a little biased. You're a northerner.
She didn't even she didn't even give me a chance, Mary Lynn. I was just saying, Mary Lynn, she didn't even ability. Got it. She was just why even go there? I got you. Okay, you're good. You're good.
Oh, that's too funny. I love it. I think I need Josh's help. There we go. Hey. That's what I heard. That's what I heard, Ramon, from your last answer. That's what I heard. Listen, that money, that next level, that next level of a tax bracket. I love it. All right. So, listen, I call this, ooh, that ties in. I'm glad you did that, Pastor Jeff and Mary Lynn. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, the Dreamers Row money question. I call this finish this sentence for me. My dream for America's small business owners is
that they will learn about cash flow.
I need to let that breathe for a minute. They need to learn about cash flow. I think I can't tell you how many awesome, practitioners, Ramon, that I've seen. I've even seen doctors and lawyers go out of business for that very thing, Ramon. I mean, talented individuals. And if someone had really had that conversation, I wish someone had that conversation with me earlier on in the sense of even maintaining and protecting, that cash flow from the vultures and all the other things. It's the setbacks too that I never.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
You're doing a business and you say, oh, wow, let's say I got in 20,000 this month. But the next 2 months, and that's all you got, the next 2 months, it's 25,000 going out. Negative 5,000 cash flow. That's a problem. Every month, you can't, it's not sustainable. It's not.
I promise you, Ramon, I came in to Oh yeah, cash flow. That's what I'm talking about. So this is the part where I want to open it up. And Ramon, I'd love for you to kick this off. If you don't have one, that's okay. But you guys, I love Dr. King and I love the dream. And I know that we all like there may be different quotes or things that may have inspired us. And I like to know, like, is there a favorite quote or a quote by Dr. King that you love? I call him my favorite dreamer. So is there a quote by him that you particularly are fond of that you'd like to share? And I'd love the others to share too.
Things is important. I think my own quote said in humility is life is a journey. So I like my own quote, life is a journey. As far as him, I think what he showed is that you do not need social media to have a movement. So it's not a quote, but I think that's one thing I can learn from him, that if you have a mission, thankfully his was good, but good or bad, but his was good. If you have a mission and it's worth spreading and it sticks with people, you don't need TikTok to have thousands of people at the what's it called, the Lincoln Mall, the place where we got
March on Washington.
thousands and thousands. Thank you, thousands. Cap. So that's for me.
Ooh, I love it. All right, stage. I would love for you guys to tap in and weigh in. Is there a favorite dreamer or favorite dream quote that you have that you would like to come off mic and share as we get ready to wind this thing down? I'm definitely going to share mine, but I would love to allow you guys the opportunity. All right. So, Dr. King has a quote, Ramon, that really, truly, I feel like ties into actually what we were talking about a bit earlier about that first move. And he says, if you can't, if you can't run, I hear feedback. Sorry. If
Yeah,
you,
that's right.
oh, okay. If you can't run, I'm sorry. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, wait, I'm sorry. If you can't run, then walk. But by all means, like, keep moving forward, like taking that next step. And how important is that concept, that premise? Because I thought that was deep for given the period of time. Like, how important is that though, like for entrepreneurs to keep moving forward?
Be too delusional and hurt your family. I'm a firm believer in that. Meaning, again, Shark Tank, other things. Oh my God, he mortgaged his whole family, or they have no money. I don't think you should do that. You owe it to your kids to have diapers on them and feed them, and if your wife or your husband's counting on you. So all that, I want to put that to a separate bucket. But I think the aspect of if you believe in what you're doing enough, and especially Shawnte, if there's traction, that's another proof point. You know, you've sold customer one. You sold customer five. You sold customer 10. Money's coming in. There's something there. Now it's up to you to figure out how to make it work. So, yeah, I like that. Just keep moving forward. Keep pressing. You know, I will never snub. I'll never snub anyone, but, I'll never snub the hustler, the one who's like, yep, this didn't work out, but I'm showing up. I'm still here. I'm going and going and going. Eventually, something will happen. If you're got the brains, you got the intuition, you got the hard work. Because it's not just hard work. A lot of people work hard. That's another fallacy, Shawnte. I work hard. They're still not buying my lemonade. Your lemonade could taste nasty. You're working hard making nasty lemonade. I work hard. No one's buying it. Enough people don't know there is even lemonade. I work hard. They're not buying it because the competitor makes it easier to buy. I mean, so that's just a side note. But this, working hard don't mean nothing.
Oh, I
It means
love.
something, but it's not worth it. Don't mean I have to buy from you because you work hard on.
Right, right, right. And I love that you brought that up. That is not the end all be all. I remember the first fundraiser I did when I first started teaching here, like in the inner city parts of Miami. It's just very, very different than the other parts. And we were looking to sell certain things during lunchtime. And the kids were coming up with different ideas. And I had two, I call them the true hustlers. Ramon. And they were just like, Miss, I see the kids going in and out the store after school. I think the stuff that they like coming out with, like that's the stuff we should start with. And I had some others that overpowered them. So we were trying this, that, and the other. And guess what? Nothing was working. These two hustlers, they were just like, nope, let's start. Like, they're not gonna buy the regular chips. We need the spicy chips. Like they were already attuned to what was actually selling and they didn't want to give up because the other things weren't working. And when we started iterating and actually adjusting, man, Ramon, I kid you not, like we were bringing in over a grand a week just during lunchtime from
There you go.
like proof, yes. And it's just paying attention and seeing what it is, what solution. They didn't want the regular lays. They didn't want, you know what I mean? Like, what does your market want? And I think so many times, a simple thing, I just thought of like how simple that was. Those sometimes it's a simple adjustment. Sometimes it's not trying to force your way or, oh, yeah, we were working hard. We were setting up and doing all of the things, but it wasn't selling. It wasn't working. And so if what we changed to and iterated to didn't work, Ramon, guess what? Eventually we would have just said, okay, this is not something that's gonna work in this environment. So, and you just, you do have to use wisdom in that way. So I am just curious as to have you had to go through iterations in your journey as a business owner as we wind this out?
That, see, I was gonna burst out laughing, but I know you're a serious question. Yes, absolutely. My whole life, absolutely. Iteration, iteration, iteration. I'm going through that iteration right now. So yes, yes, yes. And I think you think of any successful company. Again, sadly, not sadly, but we know only about the famous ones. Think of Amazon, they started selling books, and that's good because they're so famous and we know. But Shawnte, so many companies, so many brands. You think of what Glenn Lundy's going through, right? He talked about he was before he was 800%. They were doing something, whatever. Then the whole company shifted the name 800%. He has a deal with the car guys. So my point is, yes, I think shifting and morphing is part of it. Some companies have to shift total left turns. Oh, we made this hotel. We realized it's not going to be a hotel. We're turned to the grocery store. That's a hard shift. But some tweaks, and you realize who's following you and what you're doing. And yeah, I think shifting and tweaking and especially as you're starting out. Shantae's, for example, skill set is body and all those things, right? And you're going, let's say, towards athletes, and you realize, you know what, this is not working. But all these old people with injuries are coming to me, paying me a lot of money. God bless America. I'm gonna be Shawnte, the old person helper, whatever. That's a silly name, but you get what I'm trying to say.
No, 1000%. Because I started
Yeah, your company, Shawnte, the old person.
1000%. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Ramon Ray on Dreamers a Row because a dream gets powerful when we stop just talking about it and start building it. Ooh, I got some more segments I'm gonna be crashing this week and next week. Some of them are even on stage, they just don't know it yet. Back to you, Ramon Ray. Woo!
So much, Shawnte. What a great segment. Let me confirm. Can y'all hear me still okay? I switched devices real quick. Am I coming through loud and clear? Hopefully.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it going. Let's go. I come through loud and clear. Oh, no, guess I'm not.
You're coming through.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good. So, well, Glenn Lundy streams. I will stream him here. I switched devices. Just a little background, by the way. Shawnte, let's give it up for Health Wells. Shawnte, thank you so much, Shawnte. I always forget which name is Shawnte. Your Health was Shawnte Health Wells. Please be here. Be about training. What? How? Breakfast. Here. Go ahead. Thank you. Welcome to Nas and Rachel and Hader and Ashri and Dr. and Sunny and Christina. For those who stay, we got 6 friends here in Portugal and Dr. and Christy, Mary Lynn and Patty and Health Pastor. Hey, Ramon, welcome. Good to see you, Ramon. Hey, good to see you too. Good to see you. So, Glenn Lundy's going to come shortly and we'll stream in. I'm streaming in. I got a second device here. Unplug my phone and stream it to my iPad. Have to click here. Maybe share what's going on with that. Let me pause a second. It'll be here in a minute. And anybody else want another mic and just say, what is that? I'm not sure what's going on here.
I have a question. Going from YouTube or Facebook, because I know you mentioned stuff gone over.
Patty, don't mess with me now.
Point is,
That was a good call. Okay, so that's 20 minutes. Patty, I closed Facebook tab, Patty. Now I can open up Facebook. Facebook wrong. Patty, guess what I was saying? Patty, thank you. Okay, I mean, if y'all don't hear it, well,
I'll hear the secret. So, look, this glasses, just readers, need prescriptions, apparently, just a little magnification, just a little helps bring the remarkable, helps bring it in, saying in points. But like I look at myself, sometimes I'm like, golly, dude, I look smart. Like I look smart. Maybe I should work on this all the time classes. Sit down like that. Showing your needs there. And you're showing your needs there a bit. Don't blend it. So it's like I've got a battle going on right now. Just like my eyes are battling to keep things close. Kind of got a psychological battle going on. Glasses, kind of distinguish the look, or is it like I don't know. But I woke up this morning 3:40 a.m. Grabbed my big old purple cup of ice water, made my way downstairs, put the headphones on, music with no words, grabbed my morning 5 planner, one very similar to this, not this one, this is the prop planner for the show. Grabbed my morning 5 planner, opened it up. At the top of every page of the planner is an actual quote submitted by a member of the quote today said, "To endure quietly, is to go powerful. Endure quietly, is to go." So I looked at that and I was like, well, I don't know if I necessarily know what that quote, what the intention of that quote is. Scott said, as soon as you turn to 50, I need to read it. That's where I'm at, bro. It's crazy. Uh, so endure quietly. So I was like, what exactly does that mean? So I kind of like looked it up, did a little research. I couldn't find where the quote originated.